썸을 죽인 겁니까?
이 아들을 죽인 놈을 쫓고 있어요.
우리 윤호 자살 아니라고요.
기사님.
죽고 싶지 않으면
나 대신 이 사람 죽이라고요.
미친 사이코 새끼야!
Hi and welcome back to Drama Searching Vid. If you're a K-drama fan, you know 2025 has been an incredible year for new series. They're getting sharper, bolder, and way more addictive. Today, I'm counting down my top 16 Korean series of 2025 so far. This isn't just a list. These are my personal favorites, the ones I couldn't stop thinking about. From dark thrillers to chaotic romances, I'll tell you why each one made the biggest mark on me this year. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of my recommendations. Let's get into it.
잘 들어요. 따님, 심장 파열입니다. 심장 파열이라고. 지금 당장 수술해야 된다고.
Kicking off my personal list at number 16 is a dark and complex thriller, The Trauma Code, Heroes on Call. For me, what I find so interesting is its fresh take on the medical genre. I love how Baek Gang-hyuk, a genius trauma surgeon from conflict zones, joins a university hospital and immediately shakes things up. His confident, bulldozer-like personality clashes with the hospital's financial struggles, but the way he transforms his team, including Yang Jae-won, Cheon Jang-mi, and Park Jae-young-won, from a symbolic unit to one that actively saves lives is what makes this show so compelling. The drama's hero-centric storytelling beautifully balances intense action and emotional moments, which I think makes it a must-watch for medical fans. It currently holds a strong IMDb rating of 8.4.
어떤 남자가 데려갔대.
At number 15, I'm making a special exception for a film that I absolutely love, Revelations. While it's not a series, I had to add it to my list because it's a brilliant thriller that left me on the edge of my seat. What I find so interesting is how the story pits faith against vengeance. I love how a pastor, who believes he has a divine revelation about his son's kidnapper, is forced to take justice into his own hands. The show gets even more complex when a detective, haunted by her own past, begins to investigate him. The way it blurs the lines between sinner and savior is just so captivating for me, and I think any thriller fan will feel the same. It holds an IMDb rating of 6.0, and it's an intense watch I will not regret.
살면서 이런 거 본 적 있어요?
At number 14 is the high-octane thriller Trigger. For me, the most interesting thing is its unique premise. It's set in a gun-free nation where weapons suddenly become a reality. The show tells the story of two men, a principled detective and a charismatic arms dealer. And I love how their clash is more than just a crime story. It's a clash of beliefs, law versus survival, and order versus chaos. What I find so great about this one is the tight pacing, clean action, and the fantastic performances from Kim Nam-gil and Kim Young-kwang. It currently holds a 7+ rating on my drama list and is available to stream on Netflix.
먹지 마.
이 새끼 미쳤네. 다시 말해봐. 다시 말해보라니까. 아, 근데 이 새끼가 돌았나, 이씨.
그만하자니까.
At number 13, I have the hilarious and chaotic Undercover High School. I love this show because it's a ridiculous premise that just works. The story follows a disgraced NIS agent who is forced to go undercover as a high school student to find a national treasure. It's wild, sharp, and surprisingly heartfelt, and for me, Nam Kung-min's performance is one of his most entertaining roles to date. I love the way the series blends spy-level action with witty humor and emotional depth. It's a fast-paced, fun ride that I think everyone will enjoy. With a 7.8 rating on IMDb, this show has been a huge breakout hit.
국내에선 저희 교수님 정도만 성공하셨던 케이스고요.
Next up at number 12 is Hyperknife. For me, this is a must-watch because it's a medical thriller that doesn't cut clean. What I find so intriguing is how it slices into ambition and the dark side of medical ethics. The show follows Young, a genius neurosurgeon who gets lured back into her old world by a dangerous mentor. The way the show builds pressure like a heartbeat monitor is what I find so addicting. Park Eun-bin is just magnetic in a role that perfectly blurs genius with madness, and the tension between her and Sol Kyung-gu is just incredible. The show's psychological depth is what really sells it for me. With an IMDb score of 7.4, it's a brilliant watch.
안 떠나고?
다음날 아침은 밝아왔고 고겸은
At number 11 is Melo Movie, a show I absolutely adore for its quiet and honest approach to romance. For me, it's a beautiful romantic drama wrapped in film references, heartbreak, and second chances. I love how the story follows two people, a film critic and a director, who had an awkward past and now find themselves living next door to each other. What I find so special is that there are no big twists. It's just a subtle and sincere story about two people trying to move on. The chemistry between Choi Woo-shik and Park Bo-young is so gentle yet powerful, and the cinematography feels like a love letter to film. With a 7.5 rating on IMDb, it's a show I think anyone who appreciates a beautifully restrained story will love. Coming in at number 10 is Good Boy. This is a sports action hybrid that for me is just pure fun. What I find so creative about this show is its premise. It throws former Olympic medalists into a law enforcement task force. I love how they use their unique athletic skills to fight crime, turning judo and street justice into a fast-paced and chaotic action drama. Park Bo-gum sheds his nice guy image here, trading charm for bruises, and his performance is so exciting to watch. The chemistry between the Olympic Avengers is what really sells the premise for me. With an IMDb score of 7.7, this show is currently available to stream on Amazon Prime Video and is a total blast.
근데 왜 둘이 신발이 똑같냐?
왜?
맞네! 오영 미친! 야!
At number 9, I have Resident Playbook. What I find so refreshing about this medical drama is that it focuses on the human side of medicine instead of just flashy surgery scenes. I love how it follows 4 rookie OBGYN residents as they navigate the pressures of a hospital. The show feels so grounded because it focuses on real, emotional patient outcomes and the daily struggles of a doctor. The way the friendships and romance evolve slowly and honestly is what makes it so special to me. With an IMDb rating of 8.1, it's a show that has been praised for its beautiful simplicity and the incredible chemistry among the cast.
중요한 건 아닌 것 같은데 이나가 그날 방에서 나가면 저한테 그랬어요.
Next up is 9 Puzzles, a gripping mystery that I find so chilling. What I find so interesting is its premise. A profiler, haunted by a cold case that shattered her teenage years, returns to solve it. But what really blew my mind is how the case unravels into new victims and strange patterns, making you doubt everyone, including the protagonist herself. I love the show's gripping pace and surreal visuals. And for me, the dynamic between Kim Demi and Sun Suk-koo is quietly electric and deepens the mystery at every turn. It's a mind-bending ride that holds a strong 7.8 rating on IMDb and is streaming exclusively on Disney+.
대산에서 치워줘요.
확실히 끊어낼 수 있지.
At number 7, I have Buried Hearts. This is a revenge drama that I find so addictive. What I love about it is how it's built around memory loss, stolen billions, and ruthless ambition. The story follows a brilliant corporate strategist whose memory is wiped after a tragic decision. As he tries to rebuild his identity, he gets drawn into a ruthless power war. I was just hooked by the tension and the flashbacks, and for me, Park Hyung-sik's performance, which is both cold and fierce, is a huge highlight. With an IMDb score of 7.5, the twists and turns are non-stop, and I highly recommend it. Next up at number 6 is Study Group, one of the year's most unexpected breakout hits. I love this show for its perfect mix of grit, humor, and teen rage. What I find so interesting is how a quiet student with poor grades but killer instincts lands in a high school where survival matters more than study. When he starts a study group with his ex-tutor, they end up fighting more than just academic failure. The action choreography hits hard, but what I find so great is how grounded the characters feel. It's a perfect mix of high-stakes action and a heartfelt story about friendship. With an impressive 8.3 rating on IMDb, this show is a must-watch for anyone who loves a great action story.
먼저 네 친구들을 찾아갈 거야.
Coming in at number 5 is Mercy for None. For me, this is a brutal and intimate revenge story that I couldn't stop watching. What I find so compelling is how every moment feels soaked in tension as a former gangster, who walked away from violence, is forced back into the shadows to avenge his brother's murder. He's not chasing justice. He's chasing the truth, and I love how So Ji-sub's quiet intensity and powerful performance just sharpens the entire narrative. The show's visual style is so dark and deliberate, and it makes every betrayal feel personal. It currently holds a strong 7.5 rating on IMDb.
우리 애순이는 손이 없을까?
나는 안 시켜요. 지가 좋아서 하는 거예요.
At number 4 is When Life Gives You Tangerines, a period drama I find so beautiful. What I love most about this show is how it's told like a beautiful memory, set on 1950s Jeju Island. The story follows a young woman and the quiet boy who becomes her anchor, and I love how their bond grows over decades through poverty and heartbreak. The show is told through the eyes of their daughter in the present day, and for me, IU and Park Bo-gum's restrained performances are so deeply human. It holds a stunning 9.1 rating on IMDb and is streaming globally on Netflix, and it's a story that will stay with you long after it ends. At number 3 is the highly anticipated Weak Hero Class 2. What I find so interesting about this season is that it takes a slower, heavier turn, focusing on the deep emotional pain that refuses to fade. After a tragic event, Yun transfers to a new high school, trying to keep his distance. But when the school's brutal gang gets personal, Yun's simmering rage is unleashed. For me, this season is less about survival and more about the psychological toll of trauma. Park Ji-hoon's restrained performance is a highlight, and the confrontations feel so raw and brutal. It holds a strong 8.4 rating on IMDb and is a must-watch for fans of the original.
아무리 생각해도 세상이 참 불공평해요.
And finally, at my top spot is the grand finale of Squid Game Season 3. For me, this season was just incredible. It exploded on Netflix, smashing records with over 60 million streams in just 3 days. What I found so compelling is how the final season picks up right after the failed rebellion, with a broken Ji-hun returning to the battlefield to burn it all down. The frontman reclaims control and brings in a new wave of VIPs, which deepens the show's dark commentary on power. It brought closure, chaos, and a final twist that opens the door to a game that's no longer just South Korean but global. It holds an IMDb rating of 8.0 and is streaming now on Netflix, and it's a finale that I think everyone will have strong opinions about.
이건 그냥 게임이 아닙니다.
So there you have it, my top 16 Korean series of 2025 so far. Which one have you already binged, and which one just shot to the top of your watch list? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll be back soon with another video.